keep it real with ya.
Hey everybody, it's me Minu back with another video. God, look at me. This shirt is super comfortable, but it hangs on my body kind of weird. So that's why I look like that. I've been trying to record this for a good minute now, and everything kept crashing. So fingers crossed, nothing crashes. I'm not bald. I have a little bun in the back. I don't know if you can see it in the back. I just wanted all my hair to go straight to the scalp. I didn't want to deal with it just being everywhere. Like I don't want to deal with it. I'm just having all kind of logistical difficulties with making this video today. If you hear some scraping, it's because Morticia is climbing in the box and she's scraping it up, which is fine. Sadie is in timeout for scratching my carpet. Morticia real close to getting into timeout if she keep knocking over my camera. So, like I said, so many things have gone wrong in the past 15-20 minutes of me trying to start this video. So hope everything goes well. I also want to say thank you to everybody who's been super supportive about, me, been struggling lately, was dealing with some depression. It was very hard to do things, was still trying to go to work, and that wasn't working too well for me either. I was having like breakdowns at work and many freakouts, and it was just a lot. It's a lot trying to deal with having like anxiety, depression, and PTSD, and then also trying to go to work and be like an awesome employee and stuff like that, and then dealing with people who don't like you because whatever, like they're having a bad day and it's your fault. So it's difficult. So I appreciate everybody for being very supportive and kind about everything. Also got my first coffee donation, was super excited about that. I don't know if this person wants me to say their name or not, because it came through PayPal as their name, but the name that they put on coffee was M. So thank you very much, M, for the support and the donation. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you guys are willing to throw, some money my way to help me out. Like I've said before, like I don't have any like paid editing services, so I do my best with the shit that I have on my computers, which ain't always the best. I wish it was better. I wish I could have like fancy transitions and stuff up on the screen for you to see to make it more visually interesting, but I just don't have the funds. Most of my money goes into medical expenses at this point, so I appreciate it. If anybody wants to go to coffee or buy me a coffee, as they call it, I'll keep the link of that in the description. It's not unlike Patreon. You do not have to buy like a monthly subscription. You could just throw some money my way, like a one-time thing, and I'll appreciate whatever amount you throw my way. I also have a Discord that I'm going to put in the description as well. I made it this week. A few people have gone in there, and we've been having some really, really good discussions. So it makes me very happy. It's always great to like have little conversations with you guys in between the time that I'm making my videos. Some of this informs my, my decision. I might be about to say one thing in a video, and I have some conversations with y'all, and now I'm going to say something different, or maybe my opinions changed because I've spoken to more people. So it's really, really cool that I get to talk to you guys. And engage with you guys on Discord. So I will link it down in the description. And if anybody wants to, hop in there, say what's up, or see what's popping, I really appreciate it because I like talking to you guys. Yes, Morticia. Yes, ma'am. You came for some pet? Here you go. Now I'll give you pets, but you can't keep knocking over my stuff now. Yep. You want to say something to the camera? Nope, you just want to rub up against it. I know. And you can rub up against me, just not my camera, okay? Because you be knocking everything over. Can we get a middle ground? Okay. Something about Morticia that's funny. I realize she's kind of copying me lately. Every time I come in the bathroom, the very first thing she does is she hops on the toilet and she sits there and looks at me. Now my lid is down. But one time I opened the lid before she got to the toilet and she almost fell into the toilet. I had to catch her. But she hops on the toilet and she just like faces me. And I'm like, that's where I'm trying to go. What are you doing? And lately, when I'm taking a shower, she sits on like the edge of the shower tub, like right behind the curtain liner, and she'll like sit there. And then as soon as I get out the shower, she'll hop in the shower and like face the shower head. So, and she's like looking up at the shower head, like waiting on some water to come down. And I'm like, ma'am, you do not want this. You do not want to take a shower. You're a cat. What are you doing? You don't want to take a shower. But yeah, I just think it's really cute. And she's been really, really good in terms of like, if I put her in a room, she'll go to sleep. She won't like act like Sadie and be like, I'll destroy everything in this bitch. That's what Sadie does. Morticia would be like, oh, you put me in a room? I'm gonna nap here now. So she's been being a good girl. You a good girl? Yeah. She don't give you kisses though. And when I say kisses, I don't mean white people kisses. I mean, you know, I give a little nose boop. You know, maybe I kiss her forehead and stuff like that. But she don't do that. She don't like your face touching her face. Can I do my video, Morticia? Huh? Can I do my video? Or do you need a 15-minute pet break? And just like a cat, she just straight up ignores me. I'm gonna try to do my video now, okay? Okay. So I spoke in, before I made my videos about how I've been and how everything's been going crazy, I spoke about asexuality and microlabels. If you haven't seen that, you know, I will link to it from the whatever you do, the little cards or whatever. What are you doing, ma'am? So that you can like go back and watch that. But go watch that first, because that's kind of where I've been going and where I've been thinking about as I've been seeing like all of these microlabels that are popping up that are supposed to be under the under the asexual umbrella or on the asexual spectrum. Man, please stop chewing me. That has just been very frustrating, and I've been doing some research. I've been talking to some people, and they apparently these are all coming from Tumblr. I don't go on that website. I didn't know people were still going on that website, but I guess Tumblr is just a breeding ground for nonsense, especially when it comes to the liberal/progressive community. And I've been seeing them because they've been showing up on Instagram, and then they've been showing up on Facebook. So I guess they start on Tumblr, and then they just, you know, seep through the other social media pages. And like I said before, I feel like this is a lot of white people who are bored and want to make up stuff. And you can tell because I think they also, and I hate to throw this out there, but you got, at some point you got to recognize some of these people do just want to feel special, because they will make up a label and then people would be like, that label already exists. It just has a slightly different name. And they'll be like, no, but I want it to be this though. And I'm just like, what's your reasoning though? Because it's different. And I was like, that's not a good reason. And I'm a very analytical person, so like I don't see the appeal in having multiple things that like are the exact same and just having like multiple names for the same thing. I don't see the appeal in that. Like I'm just like, this stupid to me. Like I can understand maybe somebody might, it's like saying asexual and then being like, but I don't want to be called asexual. I want to be called non-sexual. And I'm like, that technically that's the same thing. So like what was the, why do you want it to be different? Because I want to be different. And I'm like, okay, but no one's going to respect that. And I feel like the issue is that it's really, really hard. And it's like, I hate to say this, but I've seen so many ace people who've been run out of their own communities because it's been overtaken by everyone who has all these different micro labels. And I feel like a lot of these micro labels really just fall under the allosexual spectrum, which it makes more sense for the allosexual orientations to be considered a spectrum, because allosexual includes like, you know, gay, straight, bi, da 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 da. So it makes more sense for that to be a spectrum, whereas it makes more sense for asexuality to be just a sexual orientation where you don't experience sexual attraction. Like there's nothing wrong with it just being that. Trying to stretch it open like a fucking condom and shove everything up in there to make it fit whatever you want to fit, it makes no sense. Also, I've been seeing too a lot of things being shared where people with the micro labels are getting upset at being called asexual. And I'm just confused now because I'm like, I thought that you wanted to be asexual, but now you don't want to. And they're like, well, I mean, we're under the asexual spectrum, but we want to be recognized for being different. And I'm like, if you're different, then just be different. Why do you have to be under the asexual spectrum? You can be your own thing. I just don't understand the appeal of like, you have to be under the asexual spectrum. I don't understand it. Like, it makes no sense to me, especially if you are going to identify by a name that is completely different from the word asexual. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a name that sounds nothing like asexual and that's your orientation, that's what you want to live by, that's how you want to identify, that's fine. Why does it have to also be ace? It could just be your thing. And if you don't like people calling you ace, now I don't know what we doing anymore. And it's like, it's that constant flip-flopping and, you know, confusion and, you know, people fighting like, you're invalidating me because you won't say I'm ace. But then also, if you call me ace, you're also invalidating me because I need you to recognize my micro label, which could just be a label, honestly. It doesn't even have to be a micro label, but it just makes no sense. And I'm so analytical that I can't make sense of it. I can't. Like, maybe I'm missing some piece emotionally, but I can't make sense of it. So something that we've talked about on the channel, we've talked about demisexuality. There's been some confusion even within the demisexual community of what that even means. Some people say you need a strong bond. Some people say it needs to be a strong emotional bond. Some people say it specifically needs to be a strong platonic bond. Some people say it just means you have to feel safe with the person that you are going to have sex with. There's a lot of different things with that, and I don't even care to get into it because I think that y'all should work that out your damn self. I'm not demisexual. I think, you know, if y'all got issues, y'all got to work it out. Just like I feel like asexuals being separate have to work out our asexual issues. Demisexuals got to work out their demisexual issues. And I feel like gray sexuality, even, I can understand gray sexuality being a spectrum in the sense that it can encompass these identities that feel like they're somewhere between asexuality and allosexuality. Work out y'all shit. Figure out what y'all want to do, because all it is flip-flopping is just confusing as hell. All these new terms and new labels is confusing everyone. We're barely getting asexual representation, and people are demanding their micro label representation. And it's like, don't get me wrong, you are very much free to make a movie about being demisexual. You are very much free to star and to go on a BuzzFeed video and say, I'm demisexual. I don't give a fuck about that. Very much do your thing. But figure out how y'all want that to work. Because if you just go out and you say, I'm asexual, but I insert a definition that is the exact opposite of asexuality, and you choose to go out and represent yourself that way, people gonna be mad at you. People gonna be mad at you. And you gotta understand that when you go into these public spaces where you're on these large platforms and you are wanting to represent a certain group, you do have an obligation to represent them in a certain way. I'll give you an example. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with the anti-work Reddit, but this person went on, what was it, like Fox News or something, one of them conservative channels, and they were representing the anti-work community as one of, I think, the mods or one of the creators of the anti-work Reddit. And they did not do a good job. They did not do a good job. It was not good for optics. People were pissed. And whatever that person had going on, whether it was some kind of, you know, mental illness or disability or or if they were neurodivergent or something like that, regardless of what they had going on, you got to recognize that that was not the move for the community, for that to be the person who goes and represents themselves to a bunch of people who already have negative ideas about the anti-work community. So if you could get off ma'am, it's hard to be mad at her when she's purring like this, you know. It's like, man, you trying to show me love? Okay. So you gotta recognize that you are representing the community. So I went to this Instagram. I don't even know if I want to say the name of the Instagram. Some of y'all already know the name of this Instagram, because you've seen their stuff. But I don't think that, I mean, I don't know the person who runs this Instagram account. So I'm not like saying anything specific about that person. I feel like sometimes people who have asexual groups will just share anything that's related to asexuality, or anything that seems to be related to asexuality. Like something like, hey, these two best friends got married, and people are like, yes, asexual representation. Says nothing about those people being ace, but you know, they'll say anything. They'll take anything they can get. So I don't even know if this is the person that I think the reason that they're sharing all of this stuff is, one, it puts their account on the map. Let's be real. And two, they coming from the perspective of every single thing, every identity, every label, every micro label, every new label that someone comes up with, you're all loved and valid. And that's what they want to do. Totally fine. No issue with them wanting to do that. But I am going to pick on these micro labels. So I saved some to my phone. If Morticia would get off me, I saved some to my phone. But then I decided to go to their Instagram account to just see if they've had some new ones. And they do. So I'm just going to go through them. It's micro label rabbit hole video. Micro label sinkhole, really. So the first one, the most recent one that I've come across, I'm just going from most recent to least recent, is Agniazian. I get that asexual is cool because it's got the A in front of it, and it's not non-sexual, so it sounds kind of cool. But I've seen so many people coming in with like trying to use like different etymologies in like Latin and Greek and all this shit to try and make their sexuality seem more legit than it is. Like let's not pretend that we're not just making shit up. You know what I mean? Baby, don't bite me. Like, let's not pretend that we're not just making shit up. Like, even heterosexual, homosexual, like, even those as labels. Even heterosexual and homosexual, like, even those as labels were made up. Like, we're not going to lie and say it wasn't made up. You know, I feel like that was a period of time. Baby, please stop. There's a period of time when, you know, it was more appropriate to call people homophiles, you know? So it is what it is, but like let's not pretend that just because something has a fancy sounding name or a complicated name that automatically, baby, you about to get in trouble if you don't leave my mic alone. So you gonna sit down and be quiet? Well, you don't have to be quiet, but you gotta sit down. Morticia, what are you doing? You getting too excited. What are you doing? Why you tail wagging? Where you going? Ma'am. Yeah, go over there. Thank goodness. Jeez. So, agniasm, however you pronounce that. They didn't tell us how to pronounce it. Okay. So, an individual who collects aspec identities like Pokemon, because just a few terms don't accurately describe their identity. An example would be someone who simultaneously or variably identifies as bellusexual, inaxsexual, agosexual, graysexual, and mirsexual. They might identify as all of these identities or be fluid between them. And they made a flag last year for it. I don't even care what the colors represent, honestly, because the way that these flags are being made is just, they're just making shit up anyway with the flags too. Like, let's be real. Like, the asexual flag has multiple colors. The fact that some people are like, but a purple line represents asexual. How? The gray line represents the asexual. How would we know that? We have no way of knowing that. Many different colors represent many different things. The colors arranged in this order together represent the asexual flag. This thing right here. The other stuff they're doing, I don't know. I didn't even know some of these terms, these labels that they use. I know graysexual and agosexual. I do not know those other three. I'm lost. Hopefully there'll be another post that tells me what it is. So there's somebody who they have one that says, am I asexual? If you see yourself on the spectrum, you probably are. I don't know about all that. Okay, here we go. Non-libidoist. It is someone who does not have a libido, or it could be someone who has a very low libido. I mean, the word says non, not some, but okay. Libido is a person's sex drive and frequency in which they desire sexual contact regardless of their experiences. All right, I respect that. I don't know why you would have that a label. You know, you could just be a person who has a low libido, like to go around. And another thing about some of these too is because like people want to talk about like, oh, not wanting to be like, don't ask invasive questions when someone tells you what they are. Some of these labels are automatically invasive. Like, imagine going around telling random people you're a non-libidoist, and they say, what does that mean? And then you say, it means I have a low libido. And if someone responds and is like, you might want to get that checked out at a doctor, that's not libidoist phobia or whatever you would call it. That's like, if you tell people you have a low libido, their first thing is going to be like, are your hormones okay, or is this just natural? Some people it's natural, some people it ain't. Why is that an identity? Like, imagine wearing a flag and someone says, what that flag mean? And you say, it means I have a low libido. And they're like, well, I didn't need to know that. Why did you tell me that? Ma'am, Morticia, what you looking at? You looking too hard at my camera. You better look down. Thank you. Allosexual is an umbrella term for people who are not asexual. Allosexual people regularly experience sexual attraction to others, whether or not they engage in sexual activity. You know, allosexual person. I don't care what they say about that part. But, yeah, allosexuality, an allosexual is anyone who isn't asexual. That's a totally fine definition. Celibacy is not an orientation, it is a choice. Yes, that is true. I agree with that. Secondary attraction. I agree with that. Primary attraction. Baby, what are you doing? Claws, stop. Wow, it took up until March 30th for this page that is about asexuality to post about Avon. Interesting. Here's one that popped up that had me super confused. Aprasexual. It is defined as a subset of demisexuality where one only develops sexual attraction to someone after another form of attraction is felt. This could be romantic, platonic, queer platonic, alterous, or any other type of attraction. The original attraction may or may not fade away over time with the new attraction. Okay. So Morticia just knocked me completely off whatever page I was on. Thanks for that. If you don't move on, I'm about to kick you out. You ain't cute. Come on now. Duh. Breath smells like salmon. Ma'am, can you sit down? You're worse than your sister. Okay. So, I don't care about the flag either. Ah! Ma'am, you about to go on timeout. Sit down. Good girl. Okay. So, I don't understand how this is somehow I don't even know what you call this, because if demisexuality is a microlabel, what the fuck is a pressexual? How is this different from demisexuality at all? Like, I don't understand how it's different, because from what I understood, demisexuality was basically when you became sexually attracted to someone after a certain condition was met, whether that was like some kind of bond or some other type of attraction. I don't know how aprasexual was different from demisexuality at all, because this can easily encompass the people who felt platonic attraction and then identified as demisexual because then they felt sexual attraction. So I don't know why that exists. Oh, they even had a definition for microlabel. Microlabels tend to be described as hyperspecific, a very specific experience of gender and sexuality. A term being a microlabel does not mean it is not widely used. The fuck is this? Playful attraction and emotional attraction in which the individual experiencing the attraction often wants to play with the individual they are attracted to in some way. The way one wants to play can include things like roughhousing, playing multiplayer video games, competing with one. What is it? Why is this a flag? Is this an orientation? When did this happen? What? I don't understand. Why is this a thing? Like, how is this different from platonic attraction, like where you want to be like friends with someone and you do friend activities? Why does this? That makes no sense. And it sounds stupid. Playful attraction? And then the person who posted it says, oh, I feel like this could use a different name. Oh, but everyone's valid. Everyone's valid. You know, you got to throw that word out there. Physical attraction. Yeah. Something based on something on a physical level. I think we all know what that is. Parental attraction. Attraction to one that... Hold on. What is defined as an attraction one feels when one desires to raise a child with a particular person? It's a subtype of familial attraction. This kind of attraction can sometimes be encompassed by other attractions such as romantic, but not always. How is this? First of all, parental attraction sound like something you would feel towards someone who you want to be your child, not someone you want to have a kid with. But I don't understand how that's different from other forms of attraction. Like, I feel like queer platonic relationships, romantic relationships, sometimes just platonic relationships, you know, when you desire to have a family with someone, that usually encompasses having a child with that person. So I'm lost as to how this needs to be separated. And also, I'm really surprised that there's so many extra attractions. That is very, very confusing me. I thought I was going to be looking at micro labels in terms of sexual orientation. I'm getting thrown off by these fucking attractions. Noetic attraction, a form of mental attraction based on appreciating and being interested in one's opinions. That's just platonic attraction. Platonic attraction. You find someone who has similar values and opinions and interests as you, and you want to spend time with that person. Like, I don't understand how it's something different. Nebulous attraction. For those who can't distinguish between attractions. I'm not even going to come at for the people who can't distinguish between attractions. I feel like that makes sense. For some people, that's totally fine. I don't care. Ludic attraction characterized by ludus love. Who the fuck is ludus? Ludicrous? It involves activities such as teasing, dancing, flirting, seducing with no what? So you want to flirt with someone? That makes no sense. Vash, impersonal attraction version of a crush. What? Is not widely known. They desire to interact with a person without being attached to their history or personality. Is based on desire to be acquaintances with someone rather than being friends. Some wrong on here. Is this all from Tumblr? Someone literally created this. It's not even Vash attraction. It's just Vash. I don't know. Someone literally created an attraction type for if you just want to be acquaintances. The fuck does that even mean? The only people who you just want to be acquaintances for is people that you want to network with. I just want to be acquaintances with half the people on my LinkedIn network. That's who I just want to be acquaintances with. I'm not trying to get to know you on no deeper level. I'm not even trying to hang out with you. You got some jobs, send them my way. That's the only thing I'm looking at. To define that as what's wrong with being acquaintances with people though? Like, I don't understand. Why did it have to be a different thing? Yeah, and then they telling me about impersonal attraction again. I don't give a fuck. Flectic attraction version of it. No. You go back to, you get back down. You back down. You get back down. Don't you come over here. Tertiary attraction. What, ma'am? You just gotta be in the video, don't you? Mom trying to do something. Start changing based on nature of risk. I don't care if your stuff changes. Flectic attraction. I don't care. Familiar attraction. Desire for a strong familiar attachment or emotional closeness with the other by virtue of them being family. That just feels weird to say that. I have a familial attraction towards you. Like, don't you think that feels weird? Like, if you was like, say if I was hanging out with a 14-year-old and they was like, Meanie, what you doing? And I was like, well, I have a familial attraction to them. They gonna call the police on me. I don't know. I'm not saying that people who claim to use this are like weird or anything. I'm just saying, y'all, these things have to make sense. They have to make sense when you explain them to people. We're being extra as fuck right now. Extramo. attraction. Not romantic or platonic or anything in between, entirely outside of it. All you're saying, so I'm attracted to you, but it's not romantic or platonic. Is it sexual? Is it sensual? What does it mean? What does it mean? I don't understand. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Domestic attraction, a form of attraction where you want to perform domestic activity. First of all, again, these are just platonic things. Like, you just, when you want to hang out with your friends, sometimes y'all hang out and do shit together. Like, sometimes your friend comes over when you're depressed and they help you clean up your house. You know, sometimes you're hanging out with your friend and you like need to like wipe down the table or something. And that's, to say it, first of all, you are not going to be able to separate the word domestic from domestic violence. Like, you're not. So saying that you're domestically attracted to someone, it, again, the attraction aspect of this, like having the word attraction in there is going to mean something very different to the people that you're explaining this to. Like, imagine if I went to someone and was like, I really want to be friends with you, but I feel a domestic attraction to you. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, I want you to come over to my house and wash the dishes with me. And they'll be like your friend? No. Like your partner? No. Like a date? No. Then what is this? Nothing. Diamoric attraction, characterized by overwhelming feeling of devotion towards the individual, described as worship. That's just being obsessed with someone. You didn't need to make up a new label with that. You're just obsessed with someone. Get help. That person, especially if that person don't like you back. Now, if this is a kink thing, go ahead and do your thing. But if that person don't like you back and you're feeling like that, get help. Attract change. If your relationship's attraction changes to a different type of attraction randomly, I don't even know. Who does that even happen to? Tresh. An Amari version of... Okay. Amari. You don't specify the kind of attraction you have because you don't prioritize the different types. Why are these flags? Like, I'm so confused. Like, isn't the purpose of flags and orientation and describing types of attraction supposed to be related to, you know, something about you that you can't change? Like, this is your life. You are who you are. Accept you as you are. A lot of this stuff, like, you don't prioritize different types of attraction, so you just you feel an attraction but you don't want to put a label to it. That stuff sounds like choices. Westchland attraction style fluctuating between. Okay, these are more things that I can't. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm done. Moving on. I'm moving on from the attractions, y'all. I can't do it no more. I'm tired. I can't do the attractions no more. Hold on, this one again. Amicable attraction, the best friends relationship. Just be best friends. Just be best fucking friends. You do not have to have social attraction. I'm not looking at it. Plush, squish, crush, libido again, acephobia again. Okay, so they repost stuff. Good to know. Sex negative, sex positive, queer platonic, mental attraction, altruist attraction. Okay, things that we know: aesthetic attraction, platonic attraction, sexual attraction, romantic attraction, sensual attraction, sex indifference, sex verse. Okay, so now we're back to the sexual. Sorry for getting caught up in all that other nonsense. All that is just bullshit. I'm sorry. I can't with it.